Okay, so this is the numbers that you're going to put in. I looked it up, and this first thing right here is the number of payments you want on the amortization table. Because remember, like I said, most if you're going to do a mortgage, you're going to have 360 lines. Well, if you want all 360 lines, then you would put 360 right here. We want all six of ours. We're only going to have six lines, so we want all six of ours. So we're just going to put a six in there. The number of payments that we have were six, so we want to see all six of them. Our interest rate is, and I believe you do put it as a decimal, did I? No, you do not. You put it in just like you do on the finance solver. So we're going to put 1.25 in there. And then we're going to do our payment of 174.03. And then we're going to do our present value of $1,000. And what comes next? Oh, I think I did that backwards. Oh, for goodness sakes. I got to do present value, then payment. So, $1,000. And then a payment of 174.03. And then we don't have a future value, so I'm just going to leave that off. I'm going to put another comma though. It's happening one per period, so I'm going to put 1, comma 1. It's compounded monthly, and I'm making payments monthly. So that's, since I have six payments, it's doing it once every one of those. Okay. So now I press enter, and it gives me pretty much the exact same thing that I have over here. It did not include the payment method, but it's saying I've got to pay $12.50 in interest and shoot. Oh, I didn't make the I didn't put my payment needs to be negative. So let me try that again. Let me go back up and grab that. And it's adding it on there, so my payment needs to be negative. Okay, so now let's press enter. Okay, and so it gave me the 161.53, just like I had right here, $12.50, and it did the unremaining balance. So if you want to see what the actual, you want to add these two up to get that payment of 174.03. Now notice at the end of this, it said that I have a 3-cent balance. So if you take that 3-cent balance and go back and add it to this 171, you'll get the final payment of $171.91. So that's exactly what we did right there. We added it to that payment. So the calculator will do it for you. You would have to remember the order of that. I don't mind providing that to you on the test. I will have to go back and add it to the formula card, but that would at least get it for you. These titled things right here are not titled, so you would have to remember that, and you would also have to adjust it for what I'm expecting, which would be a column for payment, a column for interest. Oh, one thing that I did not do is your total payments, because I think it says they may ask you, how much interest did you pay? Well, these are the payments that you made. You add those up, it comes out to be $1,044.21. You add all those up, that's your interest. It was a total of $44.21. And so those two totals right there, show you that this total is $1,000, that this total right here is the $1,000 plus the total of interest. So it calculates out. All right, let's move on now to example 5. Okay, so on this problem, you have to deal with this 20% down payment, and that is very standard. There are some deals that you can do, like a first time buyer, or if you are military, or I got a little bit of a discount because I was a teacher. Just depending on who your lender is, they may not require 20% down, but your conventional loan is going to be, you have to pay 20% of the cost of your home down, and then you can finance 80% of it. So I needed to find out what 80% of 65,000 was, so I said 65,000 times 0.8, and I got 52,000. To calculate my payment, I use the payment calculator, or I use the finance calculator on the Inspire. 52,000 times this 8%. It doesn't ever actually say in this problem that it's compounded monthly, but it's implied when it says that it's monthly payments. So that's why I did the 8%. That is an 8%. It's usually an annual loan. That's an 8% annual interest. So I do have to divide by 12. 360 payments because it's a 30-year mortgage. So I'm going to pay $381.56. You will not be able to find a home in this area for $65,000. It will be a bad neighborhood and a tiny house, or a rundown house, some house that would need a lot of work. But when I first bought my house 20 something years ago, I did pay about 60,000 for it. So that's about what your mortgage is, but that's not all your payments. You also have these things called taxes and insurance. You put that in there. So anyway, my mortgage payment would be $381.56. They're wanting to know how much equity I have in the house after I've made 240 payments. So you take that payment now and you say, okay, well, what is my present value after I've made these 240 payments? So where did this 120 come from? Well, I had 360 payments to make. I've made 240 of them. You subtract that and that leaves 120. So I need a present value after at the time of having 120 payments left. Use the same numbers again. Here's this 381.56. That's my payment. Interest rate's still the same. This is the number of payments that I have left, and that means that I owe $31,448.54 on my mortgage. That's what I owe. So to find out how much equity you have, you take this $130,000 that the house is now worth, and you subtract what you owe, what you have to pay your lender, and then what's left over, that is the equity that you have in your house. So if you sell your house 20 years after making $381.56 payments, and you are able to sell it for $130,000, you will walk away with a check for $98,551.46. Probably going to put that toward another house, though. So, of course, you can do all of this on the calculator, this problem solver right here. I think I put everything in. I am calculating. Oh no, I didn't. I need to do 52,000, and it is 360 payments, and it's 8% interest, and I am compounded 12 times a year. And I am going to calculate my payment. So I'm going to delete that and press enter. And it came out to be $381. And oh, it's a smidge off. I got $381.56. I don't know. It's probably just a calculation error on something. I did something wrong either here or over here. But it's not. It's just a few cents difference. So it could be I didn't write it down right. Who knows? You figure it out. You see, is this number right or is this number right? But that would be what you'd do. Then you'd go back and change this to 120 payments, and you would leave that payment alone, and then you would calculate this. And it came out to be $31,484, and again, my change is off. So that's how you do it, formulas or the finance solver.